Foundation coming at you with my Cowboys versus Packers video. You know who I roll in with. I roll with the Cowboys. um, so a lot of news, injury fronts and all that with the Cowboys with Sean Lee. I think what they're basing it on, I think, is with Hitchens, how he doing the practice and everything. And I think also going into our bye, we have an early bye this year. See if we can get him, healthy enough, and then for the rest of the season. Tyron Smith, his back is still giving him real big time issues. I think with him though, a little bit different. They want to see if they can get him ready one more game, and then give him all the rest and all the treatment that he can get during the bye week as well too. My boy Tapper is on injured reserve. Broke the same, has the same injury as D-Law, Dez, and Malik. So it could be an injury where he can come back and not have any lingering effects, but it is another injury and it's disappointing. I still believe in the guy, but it's kind of disappointing. As for Steven Paya, it's starting to look more unlikely than likely that he'll play. So gotta wait to see on that one. And then Zeke was probably the most shocking one. I didn't hear about it until the other day, and I was like, wait, what? When did this come about? But he looks like he's good to go, so we're all good to go on that. Defensively, so we got in some troops coming back. We have Cheeto, Carroll. Probably the two big names is Hitchens and David Irving. And moving Tapper to injury reserve, it's easier move or easier decision to make for David Irving to get on the active roster. So with Aaron Rodgers, with Jordan Nelson, Janice, Metellus Bennett, Montgomery, he's a pretty good running back, as well as that Jones kid too. So, I think the only advantage we got, I don't know what's going on with the two tackles, or the two offensive linemen, Bakhtari and Balaga. If we can, with our defense, if those guys are not able to go, we gotta expose that, with hopefully D-Law with his high, continue his high play. If David Irving can do anything that what he did in that last year's regular season game. He doesn't have to do 3 fumbles and all that. He just has to, tackles for loss, get Aaron Rodgers to throw a bad pass, with his big length and all that, knock down passes, maybe a sack, like I said, tackles for losses. If he can do anything like that again, make an impact like how he did in that last game, it's hard to duplicate that. But if it's anything that close to that, then it's gonna better serve us. With Malik Collins, and then I think with the injury to Pai, if he cannot go, then Crawford and David Irving can move inside and outside. Malik can move to 1 to 3 very easily, and then Bryce is a 1 as well too. As far as the linebacking core, with Hitchens there, Hitchens, he's kind of our unforgotten guy, underappreciated guy. In 2014 when Lee went out, he was there. I know Durant and Rolando was there, but Durant got injured reserve, and Rolando was in and out of the lineup, but Hitchens was there. And in 2016, we drafted Jalen Smith for the future. But Rolando goes AWOL, and then who's there? Hitchens again, So I think he can quarterback this defense well enough, in the absence of Sean Lee. But then also you got someone like that, and then you can also put in, Durant as a spot duty guy, and have Jalen Smith do the run, more running, and then have Durant and Hitchens on the passing coverages and all that, passing downs and all that. So that could help us a lot in that sense. It's good that we're getting Cheeto and Carroll back. Like I said, I know nobody wants to hear about Carroll, but we're gonna need all hands on deck for Aaron Rodgers. And this is what I want. But this is what I want though the Cowboys to do, is go ahead and pull the trigger now. I was predicting that he'll be a starter by after the bye week, but I think they should pull the trigger on Xavier Rhodes now. He has earned every every snap that he's gotten, and Jerry Jones wants him on the field. And Jeff Heath, I know a lot of people get, they praise him and then they kill him at the same time. For me, it's just like, as long as his plate is small, he can fill up that plate really good. Is this when his plate is big, you get the same amount that is there. So if he can go back to that spot duty, like when let's say you don't want Carroll on the field, you bring in Heath, and you bring in Jones and Xavier, and they've done it already. And then with Cheeto coming back, you can kind of do that, and then vice versa too. If you wanna move Cheeto to safety, and bring in Carroll, there's for a little spot duty on that. It's as long as it's spot duty for every guy out there. And I mean, not for every guy, but for those two particular players that we've kind of frowned upon, are being very critical of. So that'll be a huge step in that way. We gotta get off on third downs. Hopefully we can get a turnover too, but mainly we just gotta get off on third downs. We cannot give them, and not give up the big plays like how we've been doing, which is and gotta tackle great. Our tackling gotta be spot on. Offensively, now they have Ahmad Brooks and Clay Matthews and everything. Lyle Collins, like taking a lot of criticism, even though he's been facing guys like Quinn, Von Miller, JPP, and and all that. Jamie Collins at times. He's been facing a lot of good competition, and it's not gonna be any more small. Clay Matthews has always been a good pass rusher, but maybe we can kind of settle him in on this one. With Dez finally he's not facing a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback in this one, where the past teams, Tremaine Johnson, Patrick Peterson, Talib Harris Jr. and Janoris Jenkins, they were willing to say, hey, we'll take our chances going one-on-one with him a lot, and we have the confidence to stick with that. Now, if Dez was to get like 2 or 3 catches early, not force the ball to him, but just catches early, they could kind of go, okay, we're going to have to rotate, and that's going to open up a lot more. I want to see Beasley a little bit more involved and within, and then, Bryce Butler and T. Will, do their part and all that. Dak, I've been thinking that he's been holding the ball a little bit too long. Could be the coverages and all that, but if he wants to just gain 5 yards, if they're trying on first down, gain 5 yards. Run the ball, gain 5 yards, slide down. As long as we keep ourselves ahead of the chains and all that, and then probably the biggest thing, if we can get Zeke to run the ball like how he did last year against the Packers. Control the clock. The best defense for Aaron Rodgers, pretty much, unless you have great defense, you can keeping him off the field. Don't let him at any continuity. Don't give him any confidence. Keeping him cold on the sidelines or whatever the case may be. Keeping him on there, and then but we gotta score touchdowns. We gotta convert in the red zone and everything like that. So it sounds like a lot, but we gotta win as a team. That's the way we're gonna win this game. So all the confidence in the world, and then we want to get confidence going into the bye, and then coming out of the bye, we will still have that positive feeling coming out of it and everything like that. So, all right, mahalo for watching. Paniela boys, go Cowboys.